Tim, good to see you.
Good to see you too, JR. I love these meetings because it's like a chance for us to catch up as well.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It was
Yeah.
like just over a year ago that we were at Chromeboss Live.
Oh yeah. You know, I'm bringing back my live events. I'm gonna bring it back, but it'll be better because I'll have more experience this time around.
There's got to be a first time for everything, right?
Yeah.
I had the honor of being at that, obviously, but then also I was actually at Steve Larson's first event as well. So the first OfferMind back in, oh gosh, 3 years ago now. But yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's been such a journey. Before I get into this, hey guys, if you're just jumping in live, #live, smash that heart button. Let StreamYard see your face so I can like highlight your comments. And also, if you guys have any questions about Chrome extensions, the enrollment period, cart just closed on Tuesday, and we are having the next enrollment class coming in next week. So there is still time for you to squeeze in a few calls to be like, hey, is this really for me? And then also there's time for you to get in before class starts and ask all the Chromeboss questions today as well. Cheryl says #live. Cheryl was at the live. Cheryl was at Chromeboss.
She was there. Cheryl and I are gonna hang out and have dinner at Funnel Hacking Live here in the fall. We've already talked about.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Yes, I'm gonna go Funnel Hacking Live too.
You're going to Funnel? Okay, well, we all have to go and hang out together. It'll be fun. Make sure if you go that you stay at the Gaylord Palms, because staying anywhere else is like it just, you miss out on all the good stuff that actually happens. Like, the conference is cool, but it's everything that happens in the hallway that's actually makes it worth the ticket. So
yeah, I actually hosted a Chromies Homies dinner two years ago. Yeah, I call it Chromies Homies. Hey, yeah. Connor is here.
There's Connor.
Connor, I'm actually about to invest in a 50K program that Connor. I had a conversation with Connor.
Wow.
That he works with. So hey, Connor. Yes, Funnel Hacking Live. So yeah, oh my gosh, this feels like I'm just catching up with you, JR, and like everyone else is just here.
It's been a minute, yeah.
Yeah, so if we are going to Funnel Hacking Live, I actually want to get all us Chromie homies to another dinner. I just tossed it up into the air and created a group chat 2 years ago when I barely was teaching Chromeboss at all. And it was just like the very beginning, and 30 people showed up to the dinner.
People like to hang out.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Get your favorite beverage, adult or otherwise, and get to it. So
I'm excited! Yay! Okay. All right, let's get started. Hey, so there's Kelsey O'Neill. What is that? Hey, Connor.
Connor's tagging people. Looks like.
Oh, he's tagging people. Okay, so what I want to get into is, for those of you who don't know, for those in my audience who don't know who you are, JR, I talk about you like pretty much every single time we do our 5-day training and things like that.
Really?
Yeah. No.
I need to go through the 5-day training again. I haven't. I've been busy. So, so yeah. I mean, a little background on me. I'm in technology sales. I've been in sales since I was in high school, but I sell enterprise software primarily, and have done that for quite a while. That's my day job. That's what I just got off the phone with. But I'm a father of 4. I've got kids from 11 to 20. My daughter is actually graduating high school next month, which is kind of blowing my mind. And yeah, so I'm busy. We just finished a remodel on our home. Like, I spent 6 months being the general contractor on remodeling our home from the ground up. Like, we took out everything. Like, we left most of the sheetrock on the walls, but it was only most of it, but everything else is done. So my office is all brand new. It's wonderful. I love it. So it's JR doesn't stand for anything. I shouldn't say that. I am a junior. But if you call me by my father's name, I will look around for him. or either that, or I'll figure that you're trying to sell me an auto warranty, my student loan debt, or you're a credit card company, right? One of those three, if you call me anything other than JR. So I have gone by JR literally since birth. So it's not John Robert or I don't know, just ridiculous or anything else, although sometimes those do apply. So, but I found Kim 2+ years ago, 2-ish years ago, I think now, and bought the very first iteration of Chromeboss because I had a problem. I spent a lot of time commuting for my job. This last year, I haven't had to do it as much, but I was in an airplane a lot. I actually totaled it up once. It was like more than 6 weeks of like working time with my butt in an airplane seat in a year. Like that is a long time. There were usually the only people that were on an airplane more than me were flight attendants, and not even all of them were on the plane as much as I was. So it was busy. But I had lots of courses that I bought that I paid really good money for. I think one year I spent almost the $50,000 number that you're talking about, Kim, on courses, like all kinds of courses. Russell Brunson, Steve Larson, Tony Robbins, like courses on courses.
Yeah.
And Chromeboss, honestly, at that point was another one of those. I kind of was like on this buying spree, which was, I don't know if it was good or bad, but I couldn't watch them on GoGo Wi-Fi on Delta Airlines or on a train Wi-Fi, which is terrible. The commuter Wi-Fi train is awful. I couldn't watch these videos. And so I was getting really far behind. So I wanted something, a tool that would download those videos for me so that I could watch them offline. And that was where the problem came from. That was the idea. And so I wanted to create something for me. And I found a way to do it. I found an explanation of how to do it. And it's like, go into the page source code and search for this tag and then copy this and then paste it over here and then input this in the search bar. Blah, blah. This is like 10-step process to do it. I'm like, for one stinking video. And as you know, a lot of these things are like, here's 3 minutes. And then there's a 15-minute. And then here's a 5-minute. I'm like, I wasn't going to do that for 50,000 videos to get one course done. So I went after some help from Kim. I figured out how to use Upwork, and I went on Upwork and I found a developer who could build me a minimum viable product, an MVP. And I wanted him to build out this thing that would download videos primarily from Wistia and Vimeo. Those were the two that were really hard to get. And then later, I actually said, I want Facebook Live too, or Facebook videos as well, because lots of people were using their groups to do training, Kim included. And so I wanted to be able to have those trainings because, I mean, Kim, has it happened to you before where you buy a course and then in that course, like the person decides that they're done with being in business and they quit paying for their hosting and all of a sudden your course just vanished that you paid lifetime access for $500?
I actually am not like a course consumer.
There you go. Okay. So I am.
But I understand, like that's what happens.
In fact,
what's up?
Maybe I'll show you my maybe I'll show you my list of courses. It's obscene.
Oh, see, Connor can use
see, Connor needs it. Yeah. So what I did is I went on and I created Video Renegade. And so back up a second. I have a podcast called MLM Renegade. I do network marketing on the side as well. I'm overly busy, let's be honest. But I do a podcast. And so Renegade has become my brand. So I actually have Renegade Marketing Group. In fact, look at this. I have my cool sticker for RMG right there.
Oh my God.
And it's right next to, let's see, my Funnel Hacker sticker. And that's my MLM Renegade. That's my logo for my podcast. And the Capitalist Pig sticker that I got from Steve Larson. So
nice.
I got stickers on stickers on stickers. So I got Video Renegade built, and over time we're at version 1.10 right now, I think is where we're at. And it is it's a really great tool. We've actually expanded it, so now it works for Udemy, it works for LinkedIn Learning, it's Facebook Live still, Vimeo, Wistia. What am I missing?
And you created a Firefox version.
Yes, and I created oh, that was it. I created the Firefox version because Google won't let you put an app in the Chrome store to download videos from YouTube. So I created a Firefox version that does exactly the same thing, but adds YouTube. So you can download YouTube. Kim is using StreamYard to stream, whoever the Facebook user is, right? So yeah, so it does YouTube as well. And let me tell you, they like to change things a lot. So I've maintained my relationship with my developer. He's awesome. And no, you can't use him. He is based in Eastern Europe, and he's incredibly good. He's quick, he's responsive, and I couldn't be happier, frankly. And he keeps Video Renegade clipping along when there's now I offer a guarantee that if I can't make the thing work for the video, that if it's one of the 6 platforms that we support and I can't make it work, I'm going to give you your money back, right? So, you know, that's the I haven't ever actually had to give somebody their money back.
Yeah.
So
because people are patient, right? Like
people, especially
that they're patient.
Especially if they realize that I'm just a dude. Like I'm just a guy. And like, if I respond back and be like, oh yeah, hey, I'm happy to help you with that. It was funny. I actually had a guy who reached out the other day and he wanted a refund. He's like, we've been charged for this 6 months in a row and I don't know what this is. And blah, I want a refund or I'm going to commit, you know, I'm going to report you for fraud. And I'm like, so first I kind of took a step back. I'm like, okay, if I saw a credit card, something on my credit card that I didn't recognize, I might be angry. So I try and view this from a place of empathy. And so I just responded a cooling off period. I said, okay, what's the last 4 digits of the credit card so I can make sure that we have this so we can get it taken care of for you. And they didn't respond for a couple hours. In that couple hours, I actually went on based on the email address and the name that was on it. The name or the email address didn't match a subscription that I have. But the name, I pulled up the name. Stripe is really great for searching. And I pulled up the name and I'm like, oh, you bought this under this email address on this day. And it looks like your office is in El Dorado or I forget. It was in California, right? It was in California, and you bought it on this day from an IP address located in that city. Guess what? I canceled it for them. They're not getting billed again. But guess what else?
What?
I didn't refund a single cent. Actually, no, I take that back. I refunded one because it was like 1 day after it had charged. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll cancel this for you and refund your last bill, you know, out of the goodness of my heart, basically. But I definitely wasn't going to give them half a year's worth of subscription back. So,
yeah.
So I have 3 levels of subscription. I have monthly, which is $27 a month. I have yearly, which is $97 a year. So literally you pay for 3 months. You might as well have bought the year. And I have unlimited or lifetime, right? You can't say lifetime. Unlimited is $297. And then you buy it once and you tell me what you like about it and what you love about it. And I try and make tweaks to it, but you never pay for it again. So, and I have, let me think, last count, I was about 160 total subscribers between monthly and yearly. And I don't even know how many I have lifetime. Like, I think I'm like 250 total subscribers at this point between all the different types. But it's about, I mean, I sent you a screen capture of what I've done since it launched. It was just over 40 grand. So
amazing. And in your story, JR, I love that. Here's the thing. I will continue following up with you until, you know, your death, probably. I will continue poking
let's not wish for that, please.
Let's not be morbid, okay?
Yeah.
Like I will continue following up with you because this Chromeboss journey doesn't end after a year. It doesn't end there, right? Like it's something that you can use as an asset on the side of your full-time job, being a busy dad and a husband, and then this is just side thing. And when I last spoke to you, you're like, yeah, it's paying for my renovation of my house. Like you're like, it's helping me pay for some of that.
It basically covers my mortgage.
Yeah.
Or the amount does. I mean, it actually what it's doing is it's actually funding my retirement account is what it's actually doing. But that's and that's what I wanted to do. I actually want to grow it. I've got some work to do to be able to do that. I need to get some better ads done. I've got an ads guy, but I've been so like over the top busy that I just, frankly, I haven't had time to record the like 5 minutes of video it's going to take to build the ad. Maybe it's Easter weekend. I've got 10 minutes. Maybe I'll turn my camera on and do it. But yeah, I just need to do it.
Yeah, there's something simple that you can do, JR. You could just add an order bump that will like start increasing your revenue like right away. That's a lesson actually for Chromeboss Elites, current Chromeboss Elites. That's what we went over today. Like,
yeah, implementation
day. Create your freaking order bump and don't leave money on the table, especially if you have your extension and it's over a year. You're missing out on a lot of revenue.
Oh, I know I am. I mean, I've got more than 1,000 people on 1,000 subscribers on in my newsletter list that it doesn't have a newsletter. So yeah, there's definitely, I know I'm definitely leaving money. And the order bump, I'm intrigued by that because I'm not quite sure what I would add. That's the only thing. I'm like, hey, I know the mechanics of it. I know how I would do that, and I know that it would work. I just don't know what I would offer. So that's
it's like on Amazon you buy something, it's like, oh, people who buy this would buy this. So very simple example for us, QuickLinkConvert, collecting emails from Facebook group.
Yep.
The order bump is a $27 group growth email kit. So it's like, hey, this would complement what you're getting. So for you, just making this up live, downloading videos. Okay, why are people downloading videos? You could give them a resource that shows, actually you could do a poll to see like what other software they use, and then give them a resource that will help them figure out who are the type of people who use these things. If they're course creators, then what are the other software that they normally use? What are the other software that they might be subscribing into? And give them a little like guide that says, jumpstart. Here it is. Very simple. Video Renegade Jumpstart Kit that lets you go ahead and figure out the best way to store all these videos that you're going to download for like pennies on the dollar or something.
That's a good idea. Yeah, maybe find maybe tap into an affiliate offer with some sort of cloud storage, Dropbox or Box.com or Mega or something like that.
Yeah, but I want to take us a step back, JR, because you kind of went like really into your story. I want to ask, why is it that Chromeboss isn't just another course on your shelf and just like another purchase? What made you actually take action versus like courses that would just sit there and you do nothing with?
Yeah, shelfware is a bad thing for sure. I needed it. I needed to figure out how to make this work for the problem that I was solving for myself at that point. I think that's why. But it also got to be interesting. I mean, I like to tinker. I probably too much. I literally, as I'm sitting here at my desk right now, I legit have 3 computers within like the stretch of my arms. So it's bad. Like I got a Mac here, I got a PC here, I got another PC over there. Like it's bad. It's bad. But so I like to, I like to get my hands dirty. And so getting into that, I don't code a lick. I did pass my basic Java class in college 20 years ago, but that was then. So I don't code, but I'm dangerous enough to get myself in trouble, but probably not enough to get out of it. So and that's how I found, how I was supposed to dive into that, how I was found kind of the first tutorial on how to do it. And then from there, I figured that there had to be an automation choice.
Yeah. Yeah. And so there's something really important about what you just said. And guys, if you can imagine something that you can solve right now for yourself, would you do it? Would you go and have it be made just so you can save your own time? Let me know in the comments. Hashtag yes if you're like, yeah, I do this one thing manually all the time. If only there's like a faster way to do this. And with Chrome extensions, there might be the answer of, yeah, you can. You can go ahead and have this collapse your time for you, and it's a solution that would save you time anyway, and so it's worth it. And
Yep.
then and it's a solution that now other people can tap into and thank you for it. And
Yep.
one of the stories that you told me, so let's break some myths here. Hey, if you have a full-time job and a family and everything, can you still do this? Yeah,
Yep.
can. Does your extension have to be super complicated, crazy, big features?
It's better if it's not.
Yeah, it's better if it's not. So it can be simple to start off. And then, do you need thousands of subscribers? Do you need so many subscribers to give you a way to fund your retirement account, a way for you to earn extra on the side? You mentioned for you, it's like 150 to 250. That's in the whole online internet space. Compared to the millions that could be using your extension as well.
Yep.
So do you need a really, really big number of people?
Nope.
Nope.
No,
So,
you only got fractions of a percentage really is all you need. And it's,
you need to be unique. That's a very important one. Do you need to go ahead and invent this solution for yourself that's like super different than what others have? Because there are Chrome extensions that are free. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, Connor pointed out, he said that he said, I use something else, but it's buggy. And that happens a lot. And most of them aren't maintained. And that's part of the problem. I mean, I actively maintain this thing. I'm chatting back and forth with my developer all the time as we're trying to fix bugs and something pops up. Like, it's maintained. And that's an important distinction to draw. I mean, there's a lot of automation in the back that handles it. I mean, when somebody goes on and buys, like, there's a whole automation sequence that goes, puts them into the database, sends them a username and password. Like, all of it is that it's totally hands off. I get an email that says, hey, somebody bought. Cool. And that's, but then if, I have a support line, and if they call or if they email into support, then I have to pay attention to that. And ultimately I can probably get a VA to handle that. It's just not, the load isn't heavy enough that makes sense at this point. But just diving in, and it's funny. My kids used to love to watch this old cartoon called Robots. Had like Robin Williams was in it, and it's a funny old cartoon. And but the main character that said, "See a need, fill a need," like there was a hole. And the other part too is it's important. Like, it makes absolutely no sense to be the second least expensive person. None. You're either the cheapest or you might as well be the most expensive. Like, there isn't any middle ground. Yeah. And so me charging what I do, like, in fact, it's funny. I get comments on the Chrome extension page. I probably have 3 stars because there's a bunch of people that are like, it costs $27. It's a scam. It's like, and you can't do anything to actually get rid of those people. So, but like, yeah, it does. But what that $27 does is actually ensure that I care about it and that it gets maintained. And so there's some, it's paying for my time there. So being the most expensive, being a luxury product is not a bad thing. Lamborghini does great sales, selling a handful of cars every single year.
Yeah. And on that note, there will always be the Gucci buyers. There will always be the people who will say, yeah, that's worth it. It's worth my time, because my time is worth way more than $27 a month. In fact, some people would be like, that's a steal. That's a great steal. My time is worth thousands, So, one of the stories you told me is that you were at Funnel Hacking Live, and now, like years ago, before COVID. It
was the last one. It was the last one in Nashville.
Oh, it was the last one? Okay. Yeah. And then you said that, you spoke to an influencer, and they're like, oh my gosh, I want that. And it
Catherine Jones, anybody know her?
Yeah, Catherine Jones. And it made you just stand out of the crowd immediately, because you are, instead of saying I'm another, or I am this, which there might be a lot of, you say, hey, I have my own software. I have this solution. So before COVID, was there life before COVID? I don't know.
Here in Utah, we're about to get back to it. They're just about to remove the mask mandate goes away a week from tomorrow. Hallelujah.
Yeah. And over here in California, people can eat indoor now. So
There you go.
things are starting to come back open. So and yeah, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, so the way that people perceive you is different. And they don't need to know that it's a tiny, teeny software. That's also one problem.
Software.
Yeah, software is software. That's another phenomenon that I've discovered. It's some people don't even know the difference. They don't even know what a Chrome extension is. As soon as you're like software, they go, "Oh my gosh, that is such a big feat. That is so impressive," right? It is about time. Yeah. Who is Facebook user? Let me know your name. Is this Sandra again? But yeah, you guys, like, oh my gosh. Oh, so one of the reasons why this wasn't just a program on the shelf for you was that you saw that it's possible for you to go through this, and that you're solving your own problem anyway. Was there anything that was like you didn't do it right away? Was there what stopped you from just, I don't know, what stopped you from just doing it without getting the course? Like just seeing that.
I needed a guided path. I needed somebody to hold my hand a little bit to help me understand kind of some of the ins and outs, specifically around, especially around the, some of the interacting with developers, especially just to understand, and some of the technology as well. I mean, getting, how is it hosted? I have mine hosted on Bluehost. That's where the database is. But, and I know that especially in Chromeboss, they talk a lot about AWS and other pieces, right? So understanding that and how it would work for me based on what I needed and what I had access to already, that was big.
Yeah. Yeah. So even though it's like an extension that does one thing, there are still things that might have shut you down if there wasn't like someone that's like, oh, this is what you do next. Okay, this is how you do that next.
Yep. It was a process. It was a step by step. It was a framework to use to get to where I wanted to go.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm so happy, JR, that you like trusted this process and got into the Chromeboss community, and you even went and was a speaker at my Chromeboss Live. And it's just, I find it so cool that I can reconnect with you years later, and it's only made you more money since then, and that it's funding your retirement, and the potential of it is it can do more.
Yeah, absolutely.
At your leisure, like whenever you want to get to it.
Yep.
Yeah, this is Peter. Peter says, "Congrats, JR." Peter got into Chromeboss graduates programs. So Peter, you should upgrade to Elite. So one of the questions I want to ask is, so in this journey, how did you find the community of Chromebosses? One of the things you utilized was the reconnecting with those that I've already networked with. You got featured on Chris Fong's six-figure blog that he has on the side of his figure income or something.
Yeah, like Chris Fong's making money hand over fist. I love Chris.
Leisure must keep. There's no time for leisure. So what?
You have to make time.
That's
probably the most important thing to make time for. You got to make time.
Yeah.
I'll work and no play. It makes JR a sad boy.
Yeah. Can you speak about the Chromeboss community? How have the community helped you?
It's been great. It's been a lot of fun, especially like the live last year was cool, just to sit down and network with other people, just hang out and build relationships. I'm very much my career, my day job is very relationship focused. It's hard to sell things for 7 figures plus when you don't have a good working relationship. And so that's really important to me. In fact, I actually recorded a podcast episode this morning talking about relationships. And so that's key. Like, for example, Cheryl, who was on earlier, right? We we hung out while we were there, and we've been able to bounce ideas off of one another, things like that. So the having a community is huge.
Yeah, I'm bringing back the live events, JR. It's gonna come
Good.
back.
I'll come speak again.
Awesome. I'm excited. What are the things that along your journey, instead of all rainbows and roses, was there points where it could have shut you down but it didn't? Were there points where you're like, oh shoot, like
the beginning was the hardest, because just getting the momentum going and getting that first sale, that was where it was it got real. And in fact, let's see here. Let me see if I can show, because it started off slow.
Yeah, show your screen.
Okay. So this is my Stripe account, right? But if I go all time, you can see here it was, in September, and then it really spiked. And actually it's been plateauing a little bit lately, so I need to kick it up a notch. But like I said, I've been busy. But it was that first one that kind of got me over the hump, and then they slowly started to trickle in. And then it was right about just over a year ago now where it really hit big. So it was a lot of fun.
What happened? Can you tell us what happened? What made it like go up? What did
right around here, I turned on some ads in December of 2019. I actually turned on some ads, and that was where it I started targeting people who were ClickFunnels users heavily, and that it had some good run. Actually, I had a video created. I'm actually going to show you how it works here real quick, because I just realized a lot of people may not have seen it. Let's go to Vimeo. So if you go to a site that has Vimeo, there we go. Actually, get started. Nope. It's been a minute since I've been on the Vimeo website, and it shows. Here we go. This is the video I was looking for. So I'll pause it here, but the little green download button pops up, and I can choose what resolution I wanted in, whether I want to take it in 1080p or all the way down to 240p, right? And so I can download it in the resolution that makes sense for me. If I'm going to be watching it on my phone, maybe I only need it in 360 or 540. If I'm going to put it on a big screen, maybe I want it in 1080. Just, I could have size constraints as well, but it just pops up that simply. It also does, I told you that I've got a bajillion and one courses. Like, here are lots and lots of courses. Let's see here. This is a group I'm in, Utah Funnel Hackers, which is my friend Jerem is, oh, sorry, I'm not going to show you my last password. But, here, actually, let me do it this way. I'll just go to Facebook. And so in my Facebook feed, that must be a guy. They're trying to sell to men. Can you tell? On there, my buddy got pulled over. Lots of good stuff here. Here we go. My friend Jeff posted this virtual pinball machine. Jeff is like TikTok famous for some craziness, but if I click to open it,
now let's turn it on.
It's loud, but here comes my download button, and I can download it in SD or HD on Facebook. That's the two choices that we have from them. So I could download that and save it for whatever I need, or there's a bunch of other videos along here, or in groups I can do the same thing. You open it and hit the download button, and it's just that simple. And so it really is pretty cool. I wonder if I've got.
Man, how many courses have you purchased?
I told you.
Oh my gosh!
It is like.
How many courses did you finish like Chromeboss? So I feel so unique now because I'm like, out of all your courses, you chose to do Chromeboss.
It is definitely a smaller percentage.
So guys, if you are a person who purchased a bunch of courses, Definitely.
Here we go. Here's Traffic Secrets. You may have seen this one. This is actually available through Chrome, through ClickFunnels Platinum. Oh, by the way, ClickFunnels Platinum uses Wistia, which means you will see a green download button on anything in ClickFunnels Platinum that you can use to download. So
Nice.
I can download session 1. Oh, actually I want to jump to Alex Sharfin because Alex is a stud. Oh, here it is. I can download it. It's an hour and 15 minutes long, 1080p. I have a gigabit connection here. Actually, I get to rename it. So let's say Alex Sharfin. I'm going to hit save. 2.3 gigabytes. It's going to take 45 seconds. That's okay. Decent speed today.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna stop.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super easy. It's meant to be intuitive. You can save it. You can save massive amounts very quickly by click, save, and just power through things. I coach Little League baseball because I have lots of spare time. And I actually use this. Actually, some of the courses I bought were actually coaching courses on drills and different things to do. And I've got a library of like 80 different hitting drills that I use with these boys, to 11-year-old boys, to help them get their weight back, get their hands through whatever, right? So
that's amazing. That's amazing, JR. So just so you guys know, I use his extension. I use JR's extension to repurpose my Facebook Lives. My video editor would go and I download it, and then my video editor goes to the same Google Drive folder and just like edits it and uploads it to YouTube. Yep. As a content creator, it's super helpful, and I'm not trying to find the free version, like trying to figure it out, even though I feel like I can figure it out if I try to. It's just not
why waste the effort.
Yeah. And it comes down to this question of, you are expensive. Your time is expensive. So if there's a tool that can shortcut your time, but not only your time, but enhance your team members' time and enhance them, that's what these little tiny simple tools do. It enhances your team member. It enhances you, so that you don't have to go and spend your expensive time more than you're already doing if you're not outsourcing. I want to ask you, JR, like, what are the unintended benefits of having this extension? You coming into it, you're thinking, okay, this will solve my problem and I'm going to make money from it. Is there like other things that have happened, doors open up for you, or just other things besides,
it's definitely enabled me to do other things. I mean, and what's funny is I think the MVP cost me about $500 total to do. So I've spent a little bit more than that lately, or later, in some additional stuff. But my developer is incredibly reasonably priced, and so I never have a hard time paying for his time. But I mean, you saw what it's done over time. I mean, that's like a $15 an hour job full time. So
yeah, that's amazing. You said it allowed doors to open up for you. Were you able to give it to people in order to exchange for things? Were you?
Yep. Yeah, but I've gotten access to a bunch of different Chrome extensions from other people in the group, especially guys that were charging $500 and $1,000 for some things. I'll be like, hey, I'll trade this, and cool. They see the value in it. There's a lot more value than even the lifetime charge for it. But yeah, and it's given me some time freedom as well to be able to do some things that I wouldn't otherwise have the money for. It's also in conjunction with being a part of my business. It's been a great tax write-off. So. Oh
yes, and you mentioned time freedom. What did you do with your time freedom that helped you?
Well, I mean, like I said, I coach a travel ball baseball team. I have 4 kids. We're busy. we've been able to go on some, especially, well, around here, some local vacations. You know, I live about 3.5, 4 hours from Zion National Park.
Oh, wow.
So, like, yeah, we went to Bryce last year for my anniversary. We went to Bryce Canyon National Park, which was awesome. You know, we've done some cool stuff. So
That's amazing. I've been to Zion. I've been to the Narrows. Do you go to there? Or
I have not hiked the Narrows. It's definitely on my list. But yeah, it's yeah, Zion's a beautiful spot.
Yeah. And Utah, I mean, I don't know, like just where you live is really nice as well. Just so pretty over there. I've been to Utah several times.
Yep.
So let's see what other questions I want to ask you. I feel like you know, in your future when this is funding your retirement, what do you hope for it to become? Or are you thinking of like creating another extension? Do you have like grand plans for this, or is it just like, hey, this is cool, I'm just,
I've racked my brain for a while trying to figure out the next thing, what the next problem to solve is that I feel like, frankly, I've been a little bit of a loss, if I'm being honest. I would like to, have another one and add it to the portfolio and just kind of grow it that way. But this one was personal, just because it was something I needed, and I haven't had that sort of engagement again. That being said, I'd like to do that. I need to figure out an order bump or something, so that I can, get some of those pieces involved. But and I'd like to continue to grow it. I need to redo some ads so that hopefully we're kind of at a plateau on a monthly basis. I'd like to bump up and get over that plateau and, increase the income that's coming from it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much potential. And, what's great is that you guys, this is something that you can do on the side. This is something that you don't have to.
I spend less than an hour a week on it.
Yeah. Less than 1 hour a week on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you spent all your full time on it, let's say at the very beginning, how fast do you think you could have started?
I could have done it much faster than it probably took me 6 months from the original idea until I sold the first one. I definitely could have shortcut that. But I just didn't, it was important. It just wasn't important enough at the time. Now it gets more attention when it needs it, because it's it's paying me back. So
yeah. And given what you know now, let's say that everything was wiped out and you had to start over, knowing what you know, how long do you think you would go from 0 to getting subscribers, or 0 to getting the idea to having it launched?
Maybe a week. Yeah, maybe a week. It wouldn't be very long. I mean, if it all went away and I had to restart, that's the easiest spot to start. So
yeah, guys, what I do know about this world is once you've gone through the funnel and the things and the connection in the back end and the front end and the developer and everything like that, getting your first customers, the email, and tying that all together, you have the skills to just, if you were to start over, you're like a week. It's no big deal, right? It becomes this like, oh, that's no big deal for me to go and do this now that it's in your mind what to do. So I think that's really the gift that you can give to yourself in terms of creating an asset that sits online that earns income for you, reoccurring income, which is even more cool because it's passive.
Yep.
And like you said, you can be a one-man show at a few hundred subscribers. I didn't even have to hire anyone to help me until I passed 2,000 subscribers. Like, I was just like, I don't, I can answer the emails. I'm not like, my time is not taken up so much that I can't respond to some emails.
Yep.
So yeah. So, all right. This is Greg. Greg is in Chromeboss. Hey, Greg. My first extension is proving to be super complicated. I'm still developing it. Oh,
Just
well,
keep at it.
keep at it. Don't quit. And also don't have it be like maybe trim out some features. It's okay. It doesn't have to be all crazy from the get-go. And like JR said, in the simplicity is where you might win too. Where when it's simple, it's even better because then you don't have to do all these updates and things like that. All right, JR. So I usually, hey guys, so JR's website is videorenegade.com. It's very easy to
renegadevideo.com.
video. What? Renegadevideo.com.
Yeah, renegadevideo.com.
Remember. And also I dropped my link in there, which is go.kimcdang.com/videorenegade. If they have questions about your Chrome extension or anything, where can they find you? Where can they find your podcast? JR, given his full-time job, family responsibilities, he has time to also do podcasts, be a software CEO, and all the things. So where can they go and follow you after this?
You can follow, find me on Facebook real easy. Facebook Messenger works great. You can also email me, jr@mlmrenegade.com. Or if you, go on the website and check out, it's renegadevideo.com, or videorenegadedownloader.com, but that's like long, so I cut it down. So renegadevideo.com, and you can check it out there and kind of what we're about. And if you've got questions, hit me up. I'm happy to answer for you. But if you've got questions that you're working on your extension and want to understand, some, how I did it or where I went for some help, happy to help.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, JR. Well, thank you so much for coming in today, having a chat with me, and revisiting some of your stories. To me, it's I feel like it's amazing. It's amazing how it's now like made over $42,000. Do you think that would be the case when you first started, or maybe?
No way. No, it was, I couldn't. At first, I couldn't fathom, having 50 subscribers and then 100 subscribers, and now, we're over 200 plus, and it's just, I think on the Chrome store, it's got over 1,000 downloads. Like it just says 1,000 plus now, so I don't even know how many it is really. But I mean, it's cool. It's fun. It's a great way to make some extra cash. So.
Yeah. All right. And Rick Redmond says, very cool interview. Thanks, Rick, for hopping in. Okay, guys, just a reminder, cart closed, but if you still want to get in, we do have a few spots left. Make sure that you do book a call. And I'm excited for the next enrollment class to come into Chromeboss Elite. And thank you so much, JR, for hopping in today. All right, bye, everyone.
Oh yeah, if you like that video, then you will love all the resources that I have over at kimcdang.com. That is KIMCDANG.com. There you will find all my courses, my extensions, all the offers that I have, as well as a lot of free resources if you are just getting started.